Everybody, thanks for all the love on the new job announcement on LinkedIn. I know I've been here for like 2 days and I know nothing about nothing with the platform yet. But I just wanted to quickly share something that I thought was really cool when I came inside of here, just kind of doing onboarding and stuff like that. I just drove to Denver. My bosses flew in from San Jose. They were attending this really cool conference for CloudSec in Denver. Highly recommend going to this next time it comes through. Some great talks by some excellent speakers inside of there. Really cool vendors as well. Highly recommend that one. But I checked into the same hotel as they did. And we just started walking through some setup things inside of there, get my user account created, get, access to different groups and apps and stuff like that. And didn't really think too much about it. But during that setup, we ran into some just kind of issues where I was trying to log into stuff, said we can't find your username, password wasn't working, several password resets, just some kind of thing going on inside of there that I didn't really think too much about. But they were kind of interesting things when I started thinking about it at the end of the day. And yesterday, I came into Exaforce, and inside of here, I went into the threat findings. And I've assigned it to myself, so it's actually in my analyst hub right now. But there was something that really interesting that stood out inside of the detections inside of there, and basically said, hey, we saw this admin user perform sensitive actions from an anomalous location. So not malicious location, anomalous. So basically said, we've never really seen this before. So I can see inside of here, I went and assigned it myself. So the data source came from essentially Google Workspace, but the thing that triggered the detection was Exaforce. And so I'm going to go open this up inside of here, and you can see it says admin perform sensitive actions from anomalous ASNs. So we can see inside of here is my boss Madakar, and it says basically we saw Madakar log into Google Workspace. We can see that he performed several sensitive administrative actions, such as creating this new user, Keith Buswell, changed his password multiple different times, and did all these different things from multiple ASNs that we've never seen Madakar come from before as well. It automatically gave us a threat category and classification as well, different MITRE techniques inside of here as well. So down here, taking a look at really kind of like what Exaforce came to a conclusion of, is saying this needs urgent investigation. So we can see Madakar, legitimate admin inside of the account, performing different actions from network locations we've never seen Madakar, come from before. So thought that was pretty interesting. It said, for example, it created the Keith Buswell account, went and changed the password on there several different times, did it for multiple ASNs we've never seen Madakar come from before. And then as I started looking into the different analysis that it automatically put together inside of here, principal analysis, tell us everything that we know about Madakar, belongs to the solutions department, reports to Marco, holds seed admin role, is an Azure global administrator. So this is a really privileged account inside of here, location analysis. So just some really cool just information that I would want to know about, like when I was investigating this automatically. And then it also kind of called out the fact that he created another admin account. So we did add me to an admin account, and it said that nothing was done with that account afterwards. So I went inside and just kind of cool, went into the command center inside of here, and it gives you a list of really kind of everything that was done. So this is the Exabots collecting all the different information, doing some automatic actions inside of here, raising a Jira. And then also we could see right here that it went and sent Madakar a Slack message, said, hey, we saw you doing some pretty interesting stuff inside of here. Can you give us some context? Also went and messaged his boss Marco and said, hey, Marco, we saw your employee doing some interesting stuff. Can you give us some context as well? Did see neither one of them responded. So that's why it's actually still in a needs investigation state inside of here. Otherwise, if there would have been some response saying, yeah, this is good, no big deal, and then Marco came on top and said, yeah, this is legitimate, we were in Denver doing some things, that would have taken it and essentially said, okay, hey, this was benign, let's go ahead and close this thing out. But they didn't, so it left it in an open state. And then I came inside of here and I said, hey, what this Keith Buswell been doing since they created his account inside of here? And it says, we haven't seen any logon actions since the account was created. And that just kind of actually, reaffirms that the lack of any activity after this account was created is, really making us suspect of what the whole purpose was around this activity. So we see somebody that's a legit admin, accessing from different locations. We've never seen him do things before. He's creating admin accounts, resetting the password multiple times, and then the account just sat. So just a lot of really kind of interesting things going on inside of here. And then also, I thought it was just kind of really interesting. I came into the graph inside of here, and it just gives you a really nice visual representation of really kind of everything that happened on that day. So we could see came from two different ASNs, two different IP addresses inside of here owned by different ASNs. We could see that he has several different sessions throughout the day. And then we could see these red items, tying into really kind of like, hey, what did Keith Buswell or what happened with this Keith Buswell session inside of here? So we could see, and kind of here, there's different password resets going on inside of here. We could see adding different groups and folders and stuff like that. At different drive access names. So I thought it was really cool the way it split everything out inside of here and just kind of let you know, like, hey, here's everything that we saw being done during that anomalous session versus everything that was done maybe from a session where we saw really nothing stood out to us that was particularly weird. And then I wanted to go learn more about this IP address. So I came in here and clicked on this and said, hey, let's go open this up. And I could see up at the top here, it immediately went and applied to filter the source IP address inside of here, filter down just the last 15 days. You can, of course, select other ones. And you can do some other filtering like data sources and things like that. And immediately in this events table, we could see all of the things that were done from that IP address. And matter of fact, we see Marco was from that IP address. We can see Matacar was from that IP address. Whether the activity that was done was like a little bit sensitive, adding admins to different groups, for example. Scrolling down a little bit further, there was also this location analysis as well. So it's going to go pinpoint where the activity was being done, show you the IP address, does it live on any kind of threat lists or things like that. And then also really kind of everything that was being done. So I could go take a look at all of the resources that were accessed while they were on this IP address. So different spreadsheets, the demo environment, GitHub, a lot of different things being done. So just a really cool way that like I just have a wealth of context around what was being done from this IP, who else was being accessing the environment through this IP, all of the different apps that they use inside of here. I just thought this was really incredible to see inside of there. And once again, I know nothing about nothing from the platform yet, but this just kind of immediately stuck out and said, hey, you guys should probably look at this a bit further. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.